Happy Saturday, everyone. My name is Excellent the Excellent. Welcome to Air Samurai. Today's topic, the slashing shot creator versus the shot creating slasher, and which one should you make?
You know which one you should make? Neither, because they're garbage. What you should do, you should make a pure stretch four. They the demigods of the game. You ain't gotta worry about ever shooting and missing for three, blocking shots like Lebron, standing in the paint like Mutombo, dunking the ball like Shaq. Pure stretch forward, they can do everything.
Look, stay out of my video.
You ain't talking to your grandpappy like that. No, you ain't talking to me.
I said, show some respect. You don't be talking to nobody like that. That's your grandfather. You want to respect him. Respect God. Respect family. Respect country.
Okay, number one, you still on house arrest.
Don't be telling
So I
nobody
don't
on
know how the
house
hell
arrest.
you got over to the studio.
That's family business. Don't be telling nobody that.
Number two, Grandpa,
That.
I know you think I don't know. I know you've been flushing them pills down the toilet that you're supposed to be taking. Because
it's
you
all
know
about-
your mind ain't right no more,
disrespectful.
all right?
We can't even say nothing. Get out of conversation to the family.
No.
Everybody, I'm trying to become a YouTuber here. Y'all keep interrupting me. I gotta give people useful information. You go back home and you take them pills. Quit spitting them out and acting like nobody don't see it.
If you gonna make one of the two pills, just make the slash and shot creator. Hey, don't be wasting people's time with a video like
Look,
this.
it's not a waste of time. You know it's a waste of time? Trying to steal an iPad out of a police car while you already locked up in it. That's a waste
There you
of
go.
time.
There you go. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we can't be family. There you go. Right there. You always be putting people on blast.
Look, I'm making this video because Christmas is coming up and there's gonna be a lot of people getting on the game for the first time and they're gonna want to make one of these two bills. So I'm talking about them because I made both bills this year and I had a chance to test their effectiveness in multiple game modes.
So basically what you're saying is you a grown man sitting up here spending $200 on a video game where you could have been doing anything else in the world.
How you sitting up here talking about me? You got 10 players and they're all 88 overalls. You got lockdowns, like at least 3 or 4 of them. One of them 6'8", one of them 6'7", one of them 6'6", and every time you make these players, you sitting up here talking about, oh, this dude gonna be real, and you can never get any badges on him. Like, and you sitting up here talking trash to me about literally making 2 players? Number one, I don't know why you make Slash and Primary, because every time somebody makes Slash and Primary, they be sweet when the game first come out, and then 2K puts out a bunch of patches and appeases all of the fanboys that want to shoot from half court at the beginning of the games without being hot, and then all of a sudden, slashes are rendered useless. It's rendered, not rendered.
Say something else. Say something else. I dare you. Say something else.
Look, man, all I'm trying to say is when it comes to both bills, they have their pros and their cons, all right? When you make slashing first, it's a lot easier to level them up. It's a lot easier to spam quick one elevator rip every single game. Like leveling them up is a ton of fun. You get the contact dunks or whatever it is. But then when you make a shot creator first, it's more of like trying to be an offensive weapon from pretty much everywhere on the court. And your badges essentially have to reflect that. So, I mean, it's kind of like a pick your poison kind of thing, but I'm just trying to save people some money. And I wish y'all would just let me make the video.
Go ahead and make your little video. I'm gonna take a nap.
Please, thank you. But anyway, what I was trying to say is basically like slash and shot creators, man. In my opinion, they're the best build in the game for the 2-guard spot. Simply because offensively, you can do a little bit of everything. And if you really know how to play with one, it could be the most deadly archetype build in the game because it's constantly going to keep people, guessing. And then, even with that, you can shoot threes and you can get to the rack and finish over the top of people.
But can't you already do that with a slasher first? Slasher primary?
No, because it's not as effective. I mean, like, number one, anybody who's playing this game for a long time knows difficult shots is one of the best badges in the game because it activates on pretty much everything. Layups, dunks, spin shots. Anything that's not a standing shot, difficult shots pretty much activates on. So with that being said, when you got the opportunity to have difficult shots on gold, you're pretty much going to be able to get anything that you want on the court. You're always going to be a threat. When you make slash and primary, you get difficult shots on silver. And trust me when I say this, there is a difference in the way that your player makes shots. There's a huge difference. Plus, when you make slash and primary, you're shooting. The reason why dunking the ball in people's face is so much fun is because with basketball, you're forcing people to make a decision, okay? If you don't force your opponent to make a decision and they know exactly what you want to do every single time, you become predictable. And when you become predictable, you can be locked up. When you make a slashing first, it makes you predictable. But when you make shot creating first, now it's a guessing game when you step on the court.
Well, if you already know that, then why in the heck did you still make a slash or primary? Or shot creating slash or whatever it is?
The reason is because, number one, when their game first came out, that slashing, I mean, it seemed like one of the most fun things to do in the game besides breaking people's ankles and being a playmaker. But number two, with being a slasher, the mid-range went to a 74. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, I'm going to still be able to cash out, still be able to hit my shots if I'm a 6'6" shot creating slasher. But I started playing, man, I'm at a 91, and I changed my jump shot so many times and everything, and that's really not the case. Like, it's hard to shoot with him unless you level a dude up a lot to the point where you can just shoot whenever you want to or wherever you want to. Shot slashers are cool, but you really got to be dedicated to that grind. With a slash and shot creator, man, it's really like, a walk in the park. When you stepping on the court and you got a matchup that's trying to guard you, you got so many options of how you can really just try to force them into bad decision making or a bad guessing game. Also, a little pro tip, if you make a slash and shot creator, if you want to be able to play in the park and in the pro-am with him, my suggestion to you is make him 6'6" in height and make his weight 203. Leave his wingspan at default. I'm telling you, it's the way to go when you make a slash and shot creator. But if you prefer to make a shot creating slasher, there are ways for you to be successful with a shot creating slasher. But in order for you to be successful, you need a squad around you. You need at least one person with sharpshooter in their build, because other than that, everybody gonna be all over top of you every single time you get to the basket, because number one, for some reason 2K didn't make vertical matter in this game enough to the point where sharpshooters or anybody that's like any kind of build that's not athletic, they have no fear of getting fouls called on them when they chase people to the basket and try to block shots. Like, it's always been one of my biggest gripes in this game is that all of the ratings don't matter. And they've got to get back to making this game to where all of the ratings matter. Your vertical should matter on layups, dunks, and everything else. Check this out, right? If my vertical's at 88 and I'm taking off for a layup, why am I getting a layup that is so low to the ground that a pure sharp can run behind me and smack the ball out of my hands and no foul is getting called on him? And that vertical's like a 72. Like, logically, it doesn't make any sense. But then you got dudes sliding back and forth, zigzagging behind screens, shooting threes all game. Like, there has to be some sort of balance here.
To be honest with you, I can't wait till they make NBA playgrounds. So all they do that want to shoot threes from half court can get the heck out of 2K. I'm so sick of this sharpshooting.
Look, Grandpa, the problem is not the pure sharps or the sharpshooting. The problem is that 2K will allow people to shoot a shot from limitless range or almost half court. And if they miss it, if their teammate grabs the rebound, they can get it again and they're not cold. If you shoot from almost half court or anywhere in limitless range and you're not on fire, that's a bad shot. I don't care what your 3-ball rating is. if you shoot from that deep and you miss, you should go cold instantly. Because the game has to have some sort of balance in it to where people can be guarded and where the game is fun. If you got a sharp out there on the court and they start off in the inbounds play, and the minute that the dude inbounds the ball, he runs behind the other guy to kind of like get his guy to get attached to get the defender to be attached to the ball handler, and he shoots a 3 from limitless range. He can do that all game. So why hasn't something like that either A, been fixed, or B, there be some sort of like mechanic in the game to keep people from shooting from that deep if they're not hot? Because when they do that, it immediately sucks all the fun out of the game, because they can just do it over and over and over again. And then you drive to the rim as a slasher and you got Pierce Sharps blocking dunk attempts and no foul is getting called. Where's the balance in that? If you make slashing first, you have got to have a team around you. As crazy as it is to have a sharp, in this game, and to be able to do whatever it is you want whenever you want, if you make slashing first, you need somebody with sharp on your team, because there's going to be so many instances if you beat your defender and you get to the basket that somebody literally, like 3 people are probably going to jump at you and there's going to be no foul called. So there's got to be some sort of like way in order for you to be effective on the court, you got to have that other guy that can take some pressure off you. So when these people start helping on your dunk attempts, now you got an option to kick and get an easy score. But if you make shot creating first, man, you can pretty much get out on the court and do whatever it is you want. The reason why I said if you make a slasher shot creator, to make him 6'6", 203 pounds, is because when you make him 203, first of all, the default weight starts out at 208 for the 2 guard. But if you make him 203, you get the vertical of a slashing shot creator that's 6'4", and then in terms of your lateral quickness, that goes up to 80, and then your acceleration, I believe, is like 81. So you still got speed, you can move around the court. Your strength goes down to a 66, but from a 66 to a 68, I mean, it's just kind of like the price that you're gonna pay, but you're gonna be faster to be able to cut people off. So, I think that it's a better trade-off, in my opinion. Also, as well, you want to definitely leave the wingspan at default. You don't want to make it any longer. You don't want to make it any shorter. 2K gets really, really weird when it comes to like layups and dunks and stuff. So when you got slashing in your build, like, just leave the wingspan alone. I remember last year, like, you would play and people would like sometimes go for layups depending on their height. If they went for a reverse, they would hit the underside of the basket. Like, you just don't want to give the game any opportunity to put you in a predicament where you make the right play, but because of your player build, something weird happens. So just leave the default wingspan on there. It'll be fine. If you play good offense and you play good defense, you won't even notice those extra points that you can get for going 1 tick down on the wingspan, or even, going 1 tick up to try to be a better defender. My advice is, man, just like, to keep it all the way a buck, just make a slash and shot creator. Make him the height and the weight that I suggested, because at the end of the day, you're going to have a player that is essentially going to be able to get on the court and do whatever it is that you want him to do. And that's what all you want at the end of the day. You want an offensive player at the 2 that can do a little bit of everything. All right, everybody, that's it for this video. I hope the stuff that I said, or even with my grandpa and my cousin interrupting everything, I hope some of this stuff kind of helped you. Maybe when Christmas rolls around, when you make your player, it'll give you a little bit of an advantage to making a player where you don't have to like spend $300 on this game in order to really get the player that you want. But yeah, man, good luck, and when in doubt, just make a pure stretch 4. All right, until next time, I'm Excellent the Excellent. Happy Saturday, everyone.